Welcome to the Super Cub of Winter 2022. Akebi's Sailor uniform. Now, I kind of assumed that was going to be the case when we got into our previews for the Winter 22 anime season. I really was expecting Akebi's Sailor uniform to kind of be in the same vein as something like Super Cub, because as it has it, the creator of this series, the manga that this is based on, is actually the artist that worked on Super Cub, the light novel. Now, granted, they didn't write the series, but at the same time, they were obviously working together on the project. And just based on the PVs and Cloverworks kind of working on the project, I started to get a bit of excitement that there was something here, but this is my thoughts on the first episode of Akebi's Sailor Uniform, or Akebi-chan no Sailor-fuku, a series that is streaming on Funimation currently, so let's jump into it. I got a huge kick out of the fact that my assumptions for this series was that it was like some sort of advertisement for Sailor uniforms. Literally, when I seen the PV, that was my expectations. When I seen it, like, oh, is this like a Sailor uniform company and they animated a trailer for it? I didn't actually know that it was a full manga. But either way, my expectations were there based on, again, Hiro working on it, who, again, worked with the creator of Super Cub. But what's surprising is that just from this first episode, we get an idea of why it's called what it's called. Again, I was like, why is this show, why this title? Now, granted, there's plenty of anime out there with really weird titles. Let's be perfectly honest. And literally, most of them are just literally the opening. Like, if you want the synopsis of a show or a story, look at the title. But what was cool was that there's a story behind this, and that's what I really got a kick out of. Because as this show opens up, it follows a girl named Akebi, obviously. And Akebi is really excited about going to this new school. She just got into this private school, and it's the same school that her mother went to. And so she has this really strong desire to go to the same school that her mother did, and she's always looked forward to that moment she would wear that same uniform that her mother wore. And what was really cool was that her mother actually is a seamstress, so she actually creates the uniform for Akebi. And it's going through this whole cute thing where mom's working on it, and it obviously takes a long time. There's a lot of passion and work that she puts into it. At the same time, Akebi's like trying to do everything she can to help mom while she's working on that, trying to handle everything in the house. And eventually she gets it, and she goes to this new school, and she's super excited about it. And the moment that she walks to the gates of the school for orientation, all the other girls are wearing blazers. I literally yelled out loud like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. The whole idea here is that yes, Sailor uniforms is kind of popular, but it's kind of a trend that I believe is going away. And a lot of these schools are kind of moving to other things like blazers and stuff. And so it was obvious that this school was moving on too. So they have this little cute moment where they're with the principal and stuff. And she's like, yeah, you just said in your interview that you really badly wanted to wear it. So we were like, let her do it. But yes, technically we've changed over the years. We no longer do that. And they were kind of pointing out the idea that, your mother made it for you and everything. So we're going to allow it. We're going to allow you to wear it. And so again, that's where it gets to my, oh wow, I didn't actually think this was actually going to be a part of the story. The whole concept is that she's looking forward to going to this new school, and she's hoping to use the uniform, after her sister kind of gives her some encouragement, use the uniform to make herself different, to use this thing that her mother crafted that she loves so much to stand out so that she can get friends. And yes, she does stand out. But it was cute because we did get like the first meeting, this one girl that she ends up bumping into in school. She's like the only other person that makes it there early, and she was clipping her toenails, and then she smells the clippers, and I'm like, wow, we just got an icebreaker. We got a full-on icebreaker right there. There's gonna be no problem with her making a connection, because this girl just literally did something extremely embarrassing. Gosh. And so Akebi just lifts her foot up and smells her own foot just to kind of... It's goofy because it's making it out as if Akebi is kind of... Obviously, she's a country bumpkin. It starts out, the entire beginning segment is her just hoping that one day she'll become this big idol, similar to this big idol that she looks up to, and that she's going to have plenty of friends. She's out in the middle of nowhere. Her whole schooling has been in... If you guys have watched Nanambiori, the country bumpkin kind of characters, typically these schools are like so small. She was literally going to middle school and grade school in the same school with all these other kids, including her sister. Her younger sister. And so she's never really been in class with other girls her age, and so she's kind of a little bit, she's gonna be a little naive. She's gonna miss things. Like those certain signals you get, she's gonna completely miss. And that's kind of what's gonna be her charm, obviously. And so having this moment where the girl's like, yeah, just please act like you didn't see that. She's like, well, oh, that's what she was doing. She didn't know, but she just went with it. And again, did something to kind of okay, well, that was cool. Let me try it. And it's like, oh, okay, you're weird. It was a cute little introduction to our first character really having here. Because my biggest fear that was coming into the show was, okay, obviously, based on the PVs, we knew she was a country bumpkin. She was going to come from the middle of nowhere, and she was going to come to this prestigious school, and she's going to get made fun of. Like, her mother even points out the idea that when she went there, she came in with confidence, and that's why she was kind of popular. But she was also technically around a bunch of rich kids, a bunch of classy kids. This isn't just a country bumpkin. This isn't a country bumpkin school. This is a school that has kids from Tokyo and stuff, which this first girl that she meets is from Tokyo as well. But yeah, it was a cute little introduction. Like I said, I'm liking the fact that the concept of her uniform is going to be a part of the story. And I don't know, based on the ED, I'm kind of wondering if everybody's going to join in. Like, everybody's going to think it's so cute. Mom's going to have to make sailor uniforms for everybody. I wouldn't doubt it. Just kind of bring it back into style, I guess. But it was way cute introduction to it. And there was so many good points in this episode already. Like, I'm eating up how it's doing slice of life. If there's anything that'll get me more, then it's just kind of down to earth characters, a family. I mean, unlike Super Cub, we have a full family here. Having family and their interaction was just so naturally done. Like, the fact that this creator did such a phenomenal job of introducing Akebi and basically the Akebi family, this entire family that's around her, in such a down-to-earth, warm way, I'm already kind of excited to see how they handle other characters. And again, we technically already had quite an introduction to one of them, but just, yeah, the sister and their kind of bond together. The fact that the sister's upset that she's leaving the school and that she won't be able to go to school with her no more. The fact that her little sister had to give her that bump. Like, she's embarrassed that she went to the school with this uniform. And so she's like, Mom worked on it. I thought you were cool. Why are you embarrassed by this uniform? I thought you were... It was such a cute little scene. She smacks her in the bum. It's just a cool, down-to-earth and kind of realized family. And like I said, doing slice of life so well. Like, this is some solid slice of life so far. Just a very casual introduction of all the characters. The cute teasing the fathers and the mothers doing to her, taking pictures of her studying. Now, I think the only thing that's probably going to be a little bit of a hesitation for a lot of people is that it's very intricate about how it shows her try on the uniform for the first time. And yes, it has a couple other scenes where she's not always dressed, but I think the whole idea of that scene was you can see it as kind of fetishizing the whole dressing of the first uniform, but I think it was kind of trying to go in a lot of detail because this was something extremely important to her that her mother spent a lot of time crafting. And so that's how I see it. And I know that some other people are probably going to think it's weird or whatever, but it wasn't a bother to me. I'm not really looking at it as fetishizing. I'm just really looking at it more of the family and the meaning behind it was really important. So yeah, so far it looks really fantastic too. Visually looks great. The character design is going to be a little bit hard to get used to the character designs. It's definitely not. I think when they did Super Cub, they kind of took some liberties. This one has a very unique style to it, very more scrunched down faces look. Eyes are really big. It is a little bit weird, but at the same time, I think I'm going to get used to it. I wasn't really bothered by it by the end of the episode, so I think it's going to be an art style that's going to kind of grow on me. Other than that, it looks really good. Like, visually looks great. Now, the big concern, obviously, is that Cloverworks is working on this along with 2 other shows. One other original and one other adaptation. They have a lot riding on this season. I think literally 3 of my top shows of this season that I'm looking forward to are all Cloverworks. And so I hope that they hold this stuff together. I hope this doesn't crash and burn visually, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, great introduction so far. I laughed so many times. I had so many tearful moments already in one episode. This was a phenomenal introduction. I hope that the story keeps up this whole kind of quality and this kind of writing because it was a really good opening. And yes, her little sister is voiced by the same seiyuu that does Tama, so Chris will love that. But I'm looking forward to more. That's Akebi's Sailor uniform. I hope you guys enjoy this impressions. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought of this episode, or if you're going to be checking it out. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be covering all the shows of the Winter 2022 anime season, so you can stick with me as I hit every single one of the shows and give my thoughts on it. I'll also be covering some shows on a weekly basis. Akebi's Sailor uniform might be one of those if the second episode keeps up this quality. But either way, I hope you guys join me either way. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can let other people know about us, share the video, or you can go down in the description below and support us through Patreon or through our tips link. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.